president, and a president who answers to no one. Before the break, I told you about how Project 2025's plans to expand the power of the president, combined with the Supreme Court's presidential immunity decision, could result in a truly unchecked Trump administration. For more on this, I'm joined by Kim Whaley, a former United States attorney, professor of law at the University of Baltimore, and the author of Pardon, How the Pardon System Works and Why. Kim, great to see you again. Thank you for joining us today. You know, we parse Project 2025. We go topic by topic, but this is a thing that's sort of all over it, and in combination with the Supreme Court basically saying that all sorts of things are official acts and the president is not accountable for them. I worry about, this isn't it's not about abortion. It's not about the environment. It's specifically about the fact that the president can do a lot more than a constrained president as designed by the framers can do.
Right. I mean, you mentioned Justice Sotomayor saying that the court converted the presidency into that of a king. And I think it's probably accurate. When you think about a king, Ali, in common law England, the idea was it's like a triangle. And the power comes from the divine to the king. And the king can do whatever the king wants. The American revolutionaries fought a war to flip the triangle, to invert the triangle. The people are in charge and the power trickles down. So Donald Trump's statement in 2019 that he had, under Article 2, could do whatever he wants is just not true. Every branch gets their papers checked by the other two branches. We saw this if you've seen the Hamilton musical. But the Supreme Court, in giving the president the power to commit crimes using the official office power, right? If he pulls out his handgun, his personal handgun, maybe he can be prosecuted. But if he uses SEAL Team 6, then somehow that is immune from any review. It's that kind of power. It's the official power that has the possibility of really limiting people's liberties. That's the stuff we should really worry about. And the court just took the rug right out from underneath the American people in that.
I want to discuss Project 2025's very overt discussions about politicizing the federal workforce. They're talking about firing 50,000 people, possibly, and hiring people on the basis of what is essentially a loyalty pledge to the presidency, not to the Constitution, which is what every federal employee pledges loyalty to at the moment. What's the effect of a politicized federal workforce? We've seen examples around the world where it just doesn't work. If your fealty is to a party or to a president or a prime minister, that's not the same as having fealty to your country.
Well, I think there's two pieces, and a lot of people, when listening to this conversation, wonder, how is this going to affect me? But you can just Google the employment application, the loyalty test for being in a Trump administration. It's quite terrifying. In addition, ProPublica just published a piece on how there are FOIA requests being done, inundated with Freedom of Information Act requests, some of these agencies to weed out the people that are not loyal. So this is going to affect regular workers. The second piece, as you indicate, is the idea behind the agencies is that they're experts. Do you really want a politician deciding how to store plutonium for nuclear reactors? No, you want a scientist doing that. But this gets beyond just science. Think about the Federal Communications Commission. They issue licenses for broadcast journalists. Do you really want politicians deciding who gets or does not get licenses, who gets punished for their speech through that process? It's very damaging, and it'll impact every single American, which is frankly why the framers said no more kings. If they believed we just didn't have to worry about it, they wouldn't have gone to the hassle of having a revolution and creating a constitution in 1787 in Philadelphia.
We got more details from Jack Smith's case this week, and it's not directly tied to Project 2025, but knowing those details, how much damage could be done if the entire government served the president as opposed to the country and the Constitution?
Well, again, it's that idea of unlimited power, the notion that not only did the Supreme Court say you could use your military power, FBI, CIA, the IRS to investigate, spyware, all of that can be used now to commit crimes. to commit crimes. The Supreme Court acknowledged that's what they are greenlighting, but also the court said, and you can't use that evidence of the official acts in a prosecution. So this could be not only widespread crimes, but we wouldn't even know about it, Ali. So it will be, again, that it could be that triangle. The haves and the have-nots, the winners and the losers are based on arbitrary criteria, not fairness. And as much as it's impossible to achieve complete equality, the idea behind the Constitution is there are processes to ensure it's not arbitrary winners and losers based on political loyalty. My deepest concern is that Americans will feel chilled. They'll feel chilled in who they talk to, who they associate with, what they post on social media, that there'll be retaliation. And when we can't speak, Ali, we can't think freely. And that's when we really lose our humanity. Everything's on the line in November.
Kim, good to talk to you as always. Thank you for joining us. Kim Whaley is the University of Baltimore School of Law professor, author of Pardon Power, How the Pardon System Works and Why.